Hey guys, hey, how are you guys doing? How you guys doing? Cause I'm sick. Yay! Yay! I want to apologize for the coughing. But yeah, so there's gonna be quite a bit of coughing, but I think you guys will be alright. The biggest thing that it's kind of been going around and around in my head for like 2 or 3 days, but I haven't had time to really talk about it, is now that I'm losing weight, like here's my problem. I expected. See, and when you expect and things that they don't happen, then you become disappointed. So when you expect something or you assume something, oftentimes you're gonna be like, wah, wah, wah. So I expected quite a few things as I started to lose weight. So I thought I would talk about them today. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I make videos a couple times a week, depending on how my brain meats are working. Right now I'm still in South Korea. I have not had a plane ride back to America yet. Hopefully this weekend. If it's not this weekend, I'll try again on Tuesday. So hopefully between now and then I will get space available, which is what I'm going to be using from South Korea back to where I'm living in California. Well, I mean, technically I'll have to go from here to Seattle. Well, technically I'll be going from here to Japan, which I don't get to go out and see, but I'll go from here to Japan and from Japan to Seattle and from Seattle back to where I live. Yay! So there was many things that I expected, like, so I don't know about you guys, but when you go through like the weight loss classes and you hear other people's journeys and stuff like that, again, my own fault. Like, this is my own fault. This is everything up here, my own fault. Had I been, I don't want to say smart enough, but had I been, how can I put it without sounding like a dick, even though I'm talking about myself, had I been a little bit more mature going into this, knowing now what I do when I first started this, things I think would be, again, very different for me. So the first thing I expected was that as soon as I started losing weight, I would get pregnant. Now, we all know this to be incorrect for me, even though I do not have PCOS. I do not have anything technically wrong with me. In the lady bit area, I've had all kinds of tests done. My husband has had all kinds of tests done. It is just not, it ain't happening. Now, I was told and expected, I'm saying the word expected because my fault. I expected that if I lost X amount of weight, just like I see all my friends, and that's shitty of me, because that makes me jealous, and you can't really be jealous for somebody else's joy. That's really shitty. My feelings aren't negated, but it's also kind of crappy to be like, well, she got pregnant and I didn't, so we shouldn't, you know, and be all kind of, I'm not like that. But I will get a rainbow baby, whether it is fostering to adopt or have one of my own. We shall see. Today's not the day for it, so there ain't nothing I can do about it. So I expected that I would get pregnant as soon as I lost enough weight. I expected to lose all of my weight. Girl. Excuse me. I expected to lose all of my weight. I had the gastric bypass. I was told I didn't need my my gallbladder removed. And that I didn't need a DS, and that I didn't need a sleeve. I needed the gastric bypass, and with the gastric bypass I would be perfectly fine. And if I'm not looking at this, I'm on a phone, because I know there's gonna be somebody new up on this piece who's gonna be like, why don't you look into the camera? Squirrel. That is why. You've been here more than a hot minute, squirrel. So, ow. So, again, oh, damn it. I expected certain things, like, that I would get to goal with just the gastric bypass. That was not my journey. My journey was I needed to have the band over bypass, and I had to learn from that. What I know now is that it doesn't matter how much I work out. It depends on what the hell I'm putting in my mouth, because I was working out 5 or 6 times a day, 2 or 3 hours a day, and even though I was building muscle, I wasn't really losing anything. When we took out my band, the lowest I ever got with my band, excuse me again, and if you're wondering why I had that put in, you guys can go look through all of my videos. I have 89 bajillion of them, and they're all listed the way they're supposed to be. So if you're looking for band over bypass, either have it listed as or BOB, which is what it's called, for short, like RNY, VSG, BOB. So if you're looking into that, or you're thinking about it as a revision option, you can go look and see how it worked out for me. Obviously I don't have it anymore, so about that. So we had that taken out 1 year afterwards. I expected that to fix my issue. I expected, when I decided to get weight loss surgery, that all of this was because I was fat. Because I've been so unhappy my entire life that everything that happened to me in high school and middle school and in elementary school of being different and being super morbidly obese by the time I was like, what, 14, 15? Like, I expected all of these things to be fixed. Like, I expected all the neuroses and things that I had, like social anxiety and, you know, all of these things that were wrong with me, like suicidal tendencies, all these things to be completely gone. The minute I started losing weight, and life would be amazing and beautiful all the time, and fucking roses and farting like unicorn, like rainbows and sprinkles, and no, not so much. It turned out that I'm bipolar. So no matter how much weight I lose without medication, which is rewiring my brain and helping me with chemicals, there's not really much I could do about that. But I didn't know that at the time, because in my head I expected that everything that was wrong with me because I was fat. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that that's not just because I'm fat. A lot of the stuff that has gone on with me has nothing to do with me being fat. It has everything to do with me either genetically, like not being able to have children. There are many people on my dad's side who cannot conceive, or when they do, they have problems with their babies. Again, I'm bipolar. There's a lot of schizophrenia on my mom's side. There's also, you know, other things that you know, mentally not so bueno on both sides of the family, but still, I still expected. I was gonna lose all this weight. I was gonna grab life by the horns, and I was gonna ride that all the way into the sunset. Well, that didn't happen. So, I was in a wheelchair for 12 years. Being over 500 pounds, now I don't know how big I got. I had lost quite a bit when I moved into Janet's house, because we'd put me on a diet, because the way the military works is that they don't work on it, or did at the time. I don't know about now. Don't quote me on, like, well, my doctor. I don't know about your doctor, honey. I'm just telling you where I was living at the time, and what they gave me was, if I weighed over 400 pounds, a military doctor was not going to touch me. So I had to find somebody else who would. Well, I couldn't get weighed, so I had to put myself on a really strict regimen and a really strict diet in order to get weighed. So I finally got weighed. Like, I was finally able to stand up on the little thing at my doctor's office for 523 pounds. So God knows what I did weigh. I don't care. I only count 523 pounds because that's what I saw, and that's what I just put it as that. So I expected all my joint issues and the pain that I have, and you know, a lot of like because you see people along their journeys, they're running and they're doing all these marathons and they do all this cool shit, and of course they weren't as big as I am, but you still get that, well, how come that's not me? Well, because that's not part of my journey. That's not me. I have been told that even with a hip replacement, running is not going to happen. Jogging is not going to happen. It will just wear out my stuff faster. So, though that is what I would love to do, that is not an expectation that I had that can be obtained. So that was another letdown. That is my fault. That's my fault. You know, nobody really sits down and tells you these things, and when they do, I didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, well, I don't know about you guys. I can only, this is from my point of view. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear that losing weight was not going to fix my neuroses. I didn't want to fucking hear that I wasn't going to lose all of my weight. Even if somebody had told me, even if somebody had sat me down, if one of my doctors sat me down and was like, with this gastric bypass, you probably won't lose all of your weight, I would probably not be like, well, I mean, there's a fairly decent chance I will, right? Right? I mean, chance is good, right? I'm down. I mean, they only gave me a 30% chance to have my gastric bypass that I would live through it. Here I am. I mean, so percentages, I'm kind of like, meh. I expected a lot of things, and a lot of things didn't go my way. And I want people who are going to go through this and who maybe have some of the same things in your head to know that you're not alone. Okay, you are definitely not alone. There are hundreds, thousands of people out here just like us who are hoping and praying for different things, and some things come true and some don't, and some things you have to work really, really hard for. I've had to work really, really hard on my my agoraphobia and my social anxiety. For me to meet people face to face and be in your presence, that is a huge, monumental thing. For me to come to South Korea and sit on a plane with, you know, 2,000, that's one big ass plane, 200 some odd people, that's a big ass deal for me, from somebody who refused to leave their house even to go to the doctor. I had people bring me my food. I had Safeway bring food to me. I had Matthew go out and buy food and bring it back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I never left. So there's a lot of things that I had to work on. Now, there's a lot of expectations that haven't happened. I don't know if I will get to what I consider goal. I have a lot of extra skin. I can't afford to have my extra skin removed, and I absolutely refuse to put up a GoFundMe page or anything like that, so please don't ask. Like, I appreciate it, I really do. It's just not something I'm comfortable with. So again, super appreciate the thought, just it ain't for me. So another thing that I expected was that sex was going to be amazing. Not that it's not, okay? Not that sex isn't amazing, but bone on bone hurts, girl. Like, I expected, and I'm just gonna be honest, I expected that when I dropped this fucking weight and I could, like, get on, I'm not even, if you got kids in the room, I suggest you buy, that I could get on top, that I could ride them cowboy, and that shit would be, it hurts. It hurts. Like, my husband happens to be fairly bony, and I have lost most of my padding in the pubic area and almost all the padding on my ass. So a lot of the times, if I'm sitting on a hard surface, which would be somebody else's hard surface, it don't feel so good. Okay, like, I'm just being honest. Like, it don't feel so good. Like, there's a lot of pain in the pelvic area, and same thing with, like, different you'll have to play around with your different stuff. What's going to be good for you, what's going to be more comfortable for you. But I'm just letting you know, in my personal experience, like being on top or like trying funky feng shui, weird, you know, Karma Sutra stuff just don't work for me. Like, it just, either my hip, my back, all my meats are in the way, like whatever it is. Like, I expect it to be able to be like normal, but there is no normal. You make your own normal. My normal is this now. This is what I have to have as normal. Like, because again, if you expect somebody else's journey to be your journey, you're going to be disappointed. And I'm tired of being disappointed. So I am doing my very best. Now, there have been some comments about, like, you know, why I don't look older in some of my pictures, like why I don't have the big creases. I still have a lot of fat in my face. So I don't know if you guys saw, but my face was like, I mean, I didn't have a neck. Like, there was no neck. Like, there were, like, it was just like basketball head. Like, I mean, I was massive head. So my face over the years has gotten smaller, but I still have like a lot of cheeky fat. You know, I still have a lot of, you know, fat up in this piece. So the more fat you have in your face, the less older you look. But as I start losing more weight, I still, see them? You see? As I lose weight, those are going to come out. Like, and even if they do, I mean, you can always get filler put in to where it, you know, fills it back out for you, or, you know, you can just be happy with what you got. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. But those are the few things that I wanted to talk about today, because I don't want a 20-minute video. Is that I expected a lot of things, and a lot of things, excuse me, didn't happen, and, excuse me, a lot of things didn't happen, and, you know, over the past almost 5 years, you know, it has plagued me that I can't achieve what everybody else has achieved. Well, you know what? Not everybody else has achieved it either. And just because you see the minority, which is like, you know, maybe the, I'm going to say like what, 10% of the people that I watch or that I communicate with or even look at their Instagram, the 10% that can afford the surgeries, the 10% that can have babies, the 10% that, you know, whatever, whatnot, however, you know what I'm saying. Like, there are also the other 90% that don't have that or can't get that or tried it and can't. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, for the 10% that can do all of those amazing things, I'm sure they also expected other stuff that they're disappointed with. You never know, because that's not my journey, and I don't know. I could tell you how things went with me, but that's about it. So I love you, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing faces. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day wherever the hell you are, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Mwah. Hit the bell.